Good morning, YouTube. Good morning, America. Good morning, world. Good morning, everybody. When you have law enforcement that's protecting transgenders over the First Amendment, kids getting arrested reading the Bible using a microphone, and they claim amplified sound, when you have cops that are protecting gang members and protecting the criminals over the law-abiding citizens, yeah, back to blue until it happens to you. See, I don't know how many people are willing to back to blue right now. Not me, because they say, "Oh, there's good ones out there." Well, if there was good ones out there, they'd be arresting the bad ones that are violating the Constitution, violating law. They would be arresting those that are arresting a woman and slamming her to the ground, reaching down her shirt to grab a necklace. I mean, a guy reaching down a girl's shirt. See, back to blue until it happened to you, your family, your friend. See, the blue is not for you anymore. The blue is for the government. You're going to see UN hats eventually. That's what they're planning on anyways. Walking around. See, they're planning on starting a war here. That's why they're trying to get all these young fighting age men across the border. So, they're wanting what's happening in Europe and France to happen here. The fighting, the war, because they're going to make money on it. Bet that the military industrial complex is going to make money on it, because they're going to be creating bullets and ammunition and all this other stuff, tanks and cars and all this stuff. They're going to be making money on it. See, the military and the police is not very far apart. The government has militarized the police. When you got a young man out there reading the Bible, and he's got all his Christian friends out, and there's a transgender event going on, that's a grooming event for children, for the pedophiles. You need to bet that the police are going to protect the pedophiles and the groomers over God's word. They've already proved that in Wisconsin. See, unfortunately, police are so willing to enforce laws that violate our human rights, let alone constitutional rights. So yeah, back to blue until it happens to you. Back to blue until they act like the British soldiers back in the Revolutionary War, and they're arresting people just for the sake of arresting them. They're handing out fines and tickets like it's no tomorrow. They're getting pissed off when people flip them off, which is freedom of speech. They're writing them tickets for flipping them off. That's my freedom. Don't fuck with my freedom. See, God's going to come back one day, and they're going to have to answer. And those people that are standing with the government, the satanic government, and yes, I say satanic government for a reason, because our government is not controlled by the people anymore. It's controlled by the satanic cults of the world, the Freemasons and everybody else. See, all these secret groups, I don't care what group name they are, these billionaires and everybody else, they've been running the world for far too long. Time to take them out. Tell them to go away. And if you do your research, unfortunately, I'm going to sound anti-Semitic or whatever. The Jews have a lot of control in these corporations. These modern Jews. See, they reject Jesus Christ. And then they say, oh, you can't talk about it because it's anti-Semitic. We can't talk about the blacks. We can't talk about the Jews. We can't talk about the truth, because the truth offends people. The truth sheds light on their evil deeds. See, the truth sheds light on the roaches and the rats that are hiding in the dark. And when you flip on the lights, guess what? They all start bailing ship. All these 27 different families are running everything. They own our government, they own our law enforcement, they own the Democratic and the Republican Party. They own them all. They own them. They have paid out and paid out and paid out and dumped so much money into our government that now people are getting arrested for the stupidest shit. So actuality, do you back the blue? Not me. I'll be honest, I really don't back the blue. Because backing the blue means I stand 100% behind them. Do I back my military? Yes. As long as our military doesn't turn against the people. When the military turns against the people, then I won't back them. See, I back the veterans that are willing and ready to do the job they swore an oath to. See, law enforcement swears an oath, but yet they violate that oath on a daily basis. When they're violating people's rights and freedom. When they're going up to people that are uneducated and they're just intimidating and enforcing these unconstitutional laws. They're using intimidation factors for these people that are cowards. When they got people that'll stand up to them, they hate that. They really honestly hate that. Because that's somebody that will expose their corruption. When they got somebody reading God's word on the streets, on public sidewalks, and they got sin going on across the fence line, a little barrier line, you know, people violating children, indoctrinating children across, they'd rather protect the indoctrination of children than they would actually enforcing laws and going after these pedophiles and these people that are robbing and looting. No, they don't go after that. Nah, they go after the law-abiding citizen. The ones that try to follow the laws. The ones that are trying to do good. That's who they're going after. So you need to wake up and see the truth. See, it's funny. On True Social, I've been told, because I don't back the blue 100%, without question, that I'm not a patriot. I'm not, you know, if being a patriot is just buckling your knees and bowing down to the government without question, I wouldn't want to be a patriot. I'm a patriot of my constitutional rights and my freedom and this country. This beautiful country that I live in. I'm a patriot of Texas. I'm a patriot of my freedom. I'm a God-fearing, Jesus-fearing patriot. I believe in God. I love God. I love my constitutional rights and freedom. I will defend them. And any way I see fit to defend them, by recording police, holding police accountable, holding the government accountable, holding local government accountable. There you go. We're going to hold it accountable. Because if we don't hold them accountable, they're just going to run rampant. They're going to run rampant and they're just going to take over this land. And they're going to destroy this land. You see what's going on in California and Chicago and Detroit and Philadelphia and all these Democratic run places. They're sacrificing children under the guise of Planned Parenthood and abortion. They're doing all kinds of stuff. They're violating children. They're allowing people to claim they're minor attracted people. This video may be banned by YouTube or shadow banned or whatever. All my videos might be. You know what? It's the truth. It's God's word. God said if you sin, you don't enter into heaven. Not one sin. If you don't step Jesus, you won't enter into heaven. So, and granted, I work on myself every day. I'm not perfect. But yet these law enforcement officers are enforcing the rules of the devil. They're enforcing these tyrannical, treasonous rules that are coming from our government. See, Gavin Newsom should never have gotten as far as he has. All these different places like Massachusetts and everything else, they're violating constitutional rights and they're violating law. So actuality, they should never have gotten as far as they have. The people should be up in arms and screaming loudly. See, if they would be screaming loudly and the people going down there to their city halls and their court buildings, they would be forced to clean up the corruption. So actuality, people would be like, hey, enough's enough. You need to stand up. See, every American in this country needs to stand up. Go do Freedom of Information Acts. Go do police accountability. Go do your government accountability. Record police. Record your government. Find out what corruption they're committing in every town across America, every city, every state. Because if every state and every town would stand up and go to their government and figure out what they're doing, you would find out the criminals are sitting in those government buildings. The criminals are sitting in those police cars a lot of times. So, God bless, be safe, have a good day.